Hi, this is Mark with Ease Investing. This may be the most important video that you watch about developing wealth. Today, we're going to discuss the wealth secret and why it is important to understand this secret in order to develop wealth. Do you have your own wealth definition? If you don't, I encourage you to develop your own wealth definition. The reason why is because by developing your own wealth definition, this will allow you to develop wealth. Let me repeat that. By you developing your own wealth definition, this allows you to develop wealth. For me, wealth is recycling liabilities into assets. For me to develop wealth, I need to understand what liabilities are and what assets are. Once I have that knowledge, I am able to recycle liabilities into assets to develop wealth. I hope that makes sense. Wealth is recycling liabilities into assets. In order for me to do this, I need to have the knowledge of what liabilities are and what assets are, because once I have that knowledge, I am able to recycle my liabilities into assets in order to create wealth. Let's go over the wealth secret that is rarely discussed. This secret involves 3 dimensions. I'm going to go over these 3 dimensions and what the wealth secret is. First, let's go over the first dimension, which is the mental dimension. The mental dimension is important because this is where knowledge is formed. Knowledge is important because this knowledge allows you to form an aligned wealth goal. That is the first dimension, the mental dimension. And that is important for knowledge to be formed. And this knowledge is important because this allows you to form your aligned wealth goal. Let's move on to the next important dimension. This is the spiritual dimension. The spiritual dimension is when a goal is formed. This goal is important because this goal turns you into a magnet for inspired action. Instead of you chasing the goal, by having a goal that is aligned with your mental dimension, this allows you to be a magnet. And by being a magnet, things are drawn into your life for inspired action. That is completely different than you chasing things. So when the mental, which is knowledge, and the spiritual dimension, which is your goal, are both aligned, this allows for inspired action. Inspired action is the physical dimension. The physical dimension is the third dimension. This is necessary because inspired action is necessary in order to bring wealth into existence. That is the secret. That is having inspired action. And in order to have inspired action, you need your mental, spiritual, and physical planes to be aligned. That is the wealth secret, is having inspired action by aligning those 3 dimensions. Wealth is not random. Wealth is brought to pass by aligning those 3 dimensions and is built through knowledge, goals, inspired actions, which allows you to create assets. Leave a comment below if this video has been helpful and if you now understand the wealth secret.